Here's the thing. Animation YouTubers are the most twisted, debaucherous creatures on the planet. They reek of fucked up, pedophilic, animal sexuality. Jesus Christ, they're weird and twisted creatures. They're twisted. They're evil. Animation YouTubers is a whole new level of cringe and evil in the world. Okay, put something on. I'm gonna game a little bit while we're doing this. Alright. Or we can play Space Marine 2 if you want. Play the Horde mode. You want to try that? Bitch. Red guard bitch. You hear me?
Talking. You can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you now. You want to play Space Marine 2? Or whatever?
Not tonight, but definitely soon.
You just want to chill. Okay, we're in the week. All right, let's just chill and watch some videos.
Oh my god.
Okay, join activity.
Just gotta find it here.
Find me the most twisted, evil shit you can think of.
Yeah, this shit's not twisted and evil. This shit's just funny. Hold on.
See, here's the thing. My YouTube, I'm just stuck in the fucking spirituality, philosophy, D&D, and magic and gaming communities. How do you find the shit you find, dude? Fuck.
Are you overwhelmed with identity management in the context of omnipresent threats to your organization?
So, no one knows what that means.
What's happening?
Psychoanalysis. There's some fella pretending to be a woman talking about being a puppy girl on my screen. What is going on? What has happened here?
As an example, when my girlfriend calls me a good puppy, she isn't just saying, oh, you're cute and small.
What is this tendency of doing a YouTube fetish that you're into? I'd like to set up one of those pools and then just have a bunch of women piss on me.
See, I'm not sure we transphobic, but why do trans people on the internet give every trans person a bad name? Like, why is every trans
by some extremely transphobic members of my Discord, okay?
And is into the most.
I don't know anything about this person. This individual is called Leadhead. I guess is their name.
Yeah. Oh no.
Now, I think the best thing to do, either you know about this person or you don't. I think whatever the case may be, I think the best thing for me is to just, take you through this step by step. Okay? So give me a sec. We're gonna call this weirdo bread tuber.
The bread tuber, funny. That explains a lot.
Transition journey.
Is this how?
But he shows you he wasn't always a bread tuber.
I guess that's what we're going to call this. So, ladies and gentlemen,
from a debauch, I
think the best thing to start off with is to give you a sort of baseline of this individual. So this is someone called Leadhead. And we're going to start with what their content used to look like. This is going to give us a little baseline. Now, at first, you're probably going to be a bit like, what are we doing here? Why are we looking at this? You're going to have to trust me. Okay, I've seen the future, and I'm telling you, this is interesting. So we're going to watch a few minutes of this. Okay, it's going to just be, you'll see.
I'll show you a few seconds.
Dishonored is like a painting that you get to explore.
Okay. No, it's all good. Keep going. I want to keep seeing this.
Whoa, bro!
I don't know a lot about visual art, but I do know that I could take a screenshot of almost any moment in normal Dishonored gameplay, and I would want to frame it and put it on my wall.
Cell
shading has been one of my favorite innovations in 3D art direction. Wind Waker,
So you see how he's just talking about like games
The
and
Wolf
stuff?
Among Us,
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. All of these make fantastic use of cell shading to create hand-drawn appearances from comic booky to cartoony.
It's pretty standard kind of YouTube there. I'm a little short video talking about the art style of a video game. Fine. Problem. What's the issue? Cringe, overly sentimental, maybe, but it's fairly standard YouTube fare. There's nothing particularly exciting or different or, crazy about this video, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, right? Now, we move on swiftly from the baseline to this
Metal Gear
video.
Solid 2 is
This video, which is called... So this is from 6 years ago, 24th of October 2018. They released a lot of videos about video games. Between that and this video, which is in 2022. Okay? This video is called
5 years since I looked. 5 years since
How My Transition Saved My Life. So we're kind of taking a big leap forward, if you like. This, I think you're going to see while we're watching this, and you're going to see the path where we're going down. Okay, so let's continue.
Metal Gear Solid 2 is incredibly important to me, and as a result, I'm going to talk about myself in this outro more than I typically do on this channel.
3.5 years ago, I said this at the end of my video essay on Metal...
Wait a second.
No one likes your vitamin C. I don't take vitamin C. I'm just fine. That shit leads to scream.
Did you hear it though?
Yeah, I can hear it.
3.5 years ago,
No, but did you
I
hear
said
it?
this at the end of my video
voice-
essay
his
on
voice
Metal
The
changed.
Gear.
pitch seems to have changed. What's going on? What's happening here?
Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. I've talked many times about how this was a defining moment for both my channel and my person. In the couple of months that this channel existed before that video, I did my best to keep things as impersonal as possible. I provided what I took from various pieces of art and diluted the mix with as little of myself as possible. At that moment, though, for the first time ever, I talked about my fears, my apprehensions, my hopes, and my feelings. Since then, that's become the main thing that separates my channel from others in my eye.
Is this how this
These
kid got
videos,
gangbanged
ever since
by
that Metal Gear Solid 2 one,
the
have
driveway?
always been about me. The games and movies that I talk about on this channel, 90% of the time, have been nothing more than a medium for me to express myself to you all. Canvases for me to paint my feelings onto.
Oh my god, you can tell they're turning into a bread tuber because the video is extended tremendously in length and they're just rabbiting on about how they're an artist. Very homosexual behaviour.
Long videos.
Could I say,
content.
trans behaviour?
How do I make money off depressed people?
How blind are you going into this?
I'm not completely blind. I'm squinting like this. I've seen it like this, squinted through my eyes. Thank you for the super chat.
Secrets about myself and shared the lowest points in my life with you. All because, in my eye, it's critical to what makes me Leadhead. The viewers of this channel have slowly gotten to know me better and better.
Wait.
That interaction is the single
Is that your sister or your girlfriend or something, I'm guessing?
driving motivation behind
molecule.
all that I've done here in these last few years. As scary as it's been sometimes, and as nebulous as the code of conduct for YouTubers is, I've bared myself to you all in all but one regard. There's one thing that I've been cowardly about. It's not a secret by any means, but it's something that I've always relegated to the bottom of long community posts, social media platforms where I have just a tiny fraction of the publicity I have here on YouTube, the absolute back corners of certain videos. All because I was afraid of what would happen to my career if too many people found out about this too quick.
Whoa!
Oh my god,
What
they're
the
trans.
fuck, dude?
They're trans.
What the fuck happened there? It's him. I mean her. It's her. It's her.
Okay.
Old Smoky on three. 1, 2, 3, Old Smoky! I'm here to raise the jar.
Is this not the peak of trans narcissism? People are watching your videos because you're doing commentary about video games or whatever, and then you do a big 40-minute video talking about being trans. Oh my god, dude. This is like classic trans narcissism in action.
Thinking about a game or whatever, I've just been blatant and shared with you a piece of myself in its rawest form. This is one of those videos. I can't live in fear anymore. I can't go make a video about some trans-themed piece of media and hide myself within it. I need to rip the Band-Aid off and tell my audience what's up with me. So, for the sake of clarity, before we move into all the things I have to say about this, let me just get a few things right out of the way. This isn't a political video.
Okay.
This video has nothing to do with science. I won't be pontificating on the whole nature versus nurture thing or getting into worldviews or anything like that.
Who cares? Just put out another video about Half-Life already. We don't care about all of this.
Always do.
Imagine if you're a normal viewer that just wants to get the normal fucking takes that she is doing. Oh, no. And you're like, wait a second, what's going on here? I thought I was going to get a breakdown of Half-Life 2's fucking antlion section or whatever, and now you've just got black lipstick on, pretending to be a woman, telling me a bunch of shit I'm not interested in.
Aim to be a soldier on the front lines of trans rights or whatever. This is just me sharing more of those fears, feelings, apprehensions, and dreams with you, just as I always have. If you want to project a political angle onto this, then I can't stop you, but just know that wherever you stand on the inherent politics of this phenomenon,
okay, how long are they going to talk in that bloody car for?
Change your mind on anything. I don't want to turn you. I just want to tell my story. It's been a little over a year since my first...
Okay, so anyway, we got what we want out of this segment, out of this part, okay?
I wish
you're not going to believe it when I tell you that this isn't actually the video that I'm here to watch. Please, thank you for the £2. This isn't even the video that I'm here to watch. This is just the prelude. Okay, this is the introduction to what we are going to be watching.
Transphobia across the internet. Hot take.
We've gone from fairly standard YouTube there talking about video games.
Just saying.
I just felt a responsibility to protect all the stuff that I love. Okay. So we decided to do 1% of our sales, whether we're profitable or not.
These are uncertain and challenging.
That's what I have to say.
You know, all I'm trying to say is, like, I'm trying to
the video that we're going to be watching.
If trans people
it's called the Puppy Girl Psychoanalysis.
If RedTube didn't exist, transphobia would not be as bad as it is on the internet. That's just my honest take.
What the actual fuck has happened here?
Oh god, this
what is going on?
British porno set.
We've gone from normal YouTuber to I'm trans actually 40-minute narcissistic video to Puppy Girl Psychoanalysis. Dressed like this. At least they've taken the black lipstick off because that was not doing them any favors. Let's say that.
At some point in the last few years, there was this little shift, especially in the queer community, where suddenly you couldn't go 5 minutes on social media without finding somebody calling themselves a puppy girl. A lot of the time, it's just a label attached to a subgroup of kinky people. Girls who like to be put in cages or yanked around on a leash. Or, and more...
There's some fella pretending to be a woman talking about being a puppy girl on my screen. What is going on? What has happened here? Male, 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 he, male, male, male. This is fucking crazy.
Save for work circles, cosplayers who want to show off a new weighted tail that they made for their next convention, or furries who have a whole separate persona as a cartoon dog. Then, somewhere in the mix, there are a lot of people who just want somebody to stroke their hair. In the interest of making sure that nobody can ever predict what my next video is going to be about, that last group is the one I'm going to be focusing on today. These puppy girls are cultivating a fine balance between self-expression and full-blown dissociation, and I think that it's an incredibly interesting conversation.
Come from me.
Turns out there's a lot more to this whole animal person thing than just
leave it to you to know that.
They're called therians, people who found a distinct sense of identity from adopting.
So this links back to the segment we did the other day in regards to Patricia Taxon, where it's like the therian thing, animal person.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
This feels like skipping a cutscene in a game. How did we get here? Complete shift in...
Yes, thank you for the $5. It's like when you skip a couple of seasons of a show and come back to it and everything's totally changed. The character that you like has died and has been replaced by a woman. Sort of, in this case.
Certain traits from animals. In the same way that some people whom, like myself, are attracted to both men and women, but still find that the label lesbian fits them the best, therians have found that even...
Lesbian.
Man, everything's the same nowadays. Gays.
Take your corn yield to new records with Veltima fungicide. Out-yield other fungicides by an average of 7 bushels per acre.
we're all blending into a giant rainbow of stupidity.
A man could become a woman and fuck a woman with her cock, and that's lesbian, apparently, according to these people. Okay, good one.
Without a tail or pod hat.
And also,
rainbow orgy.
When you are also into men, well, that would make you bisexual.
Okay, no, it's nasty.
That would mean you're bisexual.
That's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Why is this person cosplaying as my aunt?
Weird person, but with a rainbow.
Thank you for the super chats.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
Nugget sandwich. And Delta Squad, thank
Fires
you.
in California, snow in Virginia, virus in China, a whiner in someone's butt in a prison, hotel Travago.
Thank you for the super chats.
Or a flat nose. Ascribing the traits of particular animals to themselves can be a quick and easy shorthand for the personality traits that they want to accentuate, and thusly being referred to as that animal is a surefire way to have those traits reaffirmed. It's no secret that I fall into this category. So, as an example...
What the fuck was that? Bark tutorial. They're going to do a bark tutorial. What the fuck is going on?
Graham, this is your type of woman.
People.
Should I but get this thing off the screen?
That's a beautiful woman, I'll have you know. Thank you very much for the tip.
These
fall into this
people are not
category.
my interest.
So, as an example, when my girlfriend calls me a good puppy, she isn't just saying, oh, you're cute and small. She's saying that I'm excitable, affectionate, loyal, attention-seeking, curious, and just an overall good companion. It's her saying that she's...
Isn't that what they call...
Okay, that's wonderful.
This is crazy.
The animals in Zenless Zone Zero?
Poco Loco became a member.
Is that where they got that?
Poco Loco celebrates
so.
1 month of membership. Vomiting face. Vomiting face. Vomiting face.
Okay, that's wonderful.
This is
but how do I make money?
Away from zoophilia. Hot take. This is just This is 20 minutes short of leading into zoophilia. I'm just saying that, okay? And it's all because we took Jeebus out of Christmas, all right?
When we announced the game originally, it was a prequel to Black Desert and an MMO.
Jesus Christ.
Both of those things are no longer true. But there are...
I also blame Fortnite for why children like this exist.
Did excessive outward displays of fetishistic behavior.
Yeah, Fortnite.
Just cheered on. There's no stopping it. There's no barrier. There's no, like, breaks, essentially, to say, okay, well, let's hold on a bit. Maybe we need to calm down a bit with you just going out there and talking about being a puppy girl. It's a bit weird and fetishistic.
Oh, yeah, because it's kind of weird.
Yeah, look, I'm not a pro.
And yeah,
we have become...
What I understand, I think that their whole channel is completely shifted in content. It's gone from what we were looking at earlier to this kind of shit.
Are fine.
Head pats and tummy rubs and the like. Her and I have this little thing where if we're holding hands, 3 squeezes translates to I love you.
Jolly buddy. My good friend.
Fetishes
this is not a beautiful woman but an adorable and cute puppy. Dog, 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 dog.
Indeed.
It always leads to dogs.
There's a
disappointed face.
Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, that's wonderful. But
it's told thanks to the super chat.
Off depressed people.
And in the same way, her scratching my head essentially translates to you're super loyal and attentive.
Fetishes come from that.
I know that all of this sounds incredibly silly, but subconsciously attaching this extra layer of positive reinforcement to a sensation that already feels super nice, like having your hair played with, is an incredibly interesting and potent way of communicating love, if that's the type of dynamic that you share with somebody.
I need a confession. I need to be cleansed.
Can you just be normal again and make your videos?
I'm not usually for confession, but I feel like I need to go to a Greek priest, a Greek Orthodox priest.
I mean, they did make a video about Metal Gear Solid a few months ago.
Baptism.
They are still, in between all of this wacky shit, okay, they are still making stuff about video games.
I'll use one.
I mean, here's my YouTube channel. I'm a mix of
talking about my creative process and motivations,
magic, and role-playing videos, D&D,
Kiss my car.
It's weird. I'm a weird mix of an occultist, a dungeon, a D&D role-play YouTube channel, and
Pistol 3 and the themes of Half-Life. Can we get another Half-Life video, please? Can we get another Half-Life analysis video?
Everything nerdy and weird. And
that's a couple of years ago.
I'm a gamer mystic.
Hey everybody. So obviously this video is really off the...
Okay, that's wonderful.
Not the kind of
but how do I make money
off
depressed people?
Hey! Rosetta Stone, thank you. Thank you very much for the 60.
I wouldn't call it
really shekels. Appreciate that, thank
you.
I
will call this person a thing, alright?
I want to get like a bit of a snapshot. Like, what did they look like a little while ago?
Person, you're legit.
It used to be just video games.
I'll call you whatever you want me to call you.
Yeah, I don't know if they showed their face before.
I might not fuck you, but I'll be friends with you.
What are the comments like, I wonder, in response to this?
I'm not sexually, it's kind of a thing of mine. Well,
Hope you're doing okay. I need this today.
If they have the
thank you for this
holes down there, I don't care.
A bunch of fucking soy people, isn't it?
No, but I could sleep with a non-binary person. I can never sleep with a therian.
I needed to hear that. Also, you too, baby. You too. Me on an alt. That's me on an alt. You know, that's
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do we make money off stress?
Are you a trap?
Therians.
My old job didn't have room to grow, so I looked into a cybersecurity degree from WGU. Cybersecurity jobs are expected to increase by 35% from 2021 to 2031. Earn a degree that can help you thrive with WGU.
Then slaughter them and sell them as food.
The affordable X-Mark Quest. X-Mark, official mowers of the backyard life.
Therians are too fucked. Furries, I can sleep with a furry.
In fact, it can be a little bit addictive.
Like wearing a wolf.
See, while there's a lot of positivity wrapped up in this whole dynamic for me, and a ton of other people like me, there are also some potential pitfalls, aspects of this way of self-identifying that can absolutely get in the way of living a fulfilling life.
Oh my god!
Reviews became a member.
But there's a huge.
I'm going to mute that because we just list off all the names. But thank you, Secret Lenny, for the 20 gifted memberships. That is insane.
I bet you.
Thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate that. It's very generous. Let's go.
I've never played catch with them.
I'm a lot more afraid of fireworks now than I used to be.
Wild work.
However, before we get into the danger of puppy girls and the fall of the West and all of that fun stuff,
afraid of fireworks? That's a load of utter fucking bullshit, isn't it? What do you mean afraid of fireworks?
I'm sorry. I usually don't discriminate against people about who they love and whatever. I don't usually do that unless they're literally like.
That night, what I didn't see was a tripwire stretched across the road. And when my front tires hit it, it detonated a roadside bomb large enough that when it hit my door, it threw this 9,000-pound haunted Humvee flying through the air and landed in a canal running directly through the road.
Hi, and welcome to Common Denominator, where we shine a light on people striving to make the world a better place. Today, Purple Heart recipient and military hero, Noah Galloway. So I just finished my conversation with Noah, and what really struck a chord for me, which I asked all guests, is what they're grateful for. What he answered me was his injury. In 2005, Noah lost a part of his left leg and a part of his left arm.
Yeah. I'd rather deal with that guy than deal with this thing.
I know how they look. I know how they think. I remember one post where someone was like, you know, oh, if you're a trans woman, avoid the black lipstick, you look terrible wearing it. And then all of these trans women were quote tweeting that tweet with pictures of themselves with black lipstick on. And the results are precisely what you would expect them to be. You know, a bunch of beautiful trans women showing themselves off. You know? Oh, look at me with that lipstick on. Oh, I'm so pretty, aren't I?
You know what? If Therian is so fucked up,
no, you ain't.
Oh my god,
people hate them.
Okay, just to put it bluntly.
And at the time, that's all that there was to it. Since then, I first developed a taste for tummy rubs. Then I started to prefer my french fries hand-fed. Then I started leaning more on body language and sounds rather than actual language when it came to communicating.
What is this fucking tendency of doing a YouTube video talking about the fetish shit? What happened to fucking in the privacy of your own bedroom? Now it's, no, actually, in a YouTube video and you listening to it, yes, I'm watching this, yes, I'm engaging with it, it's my content, okay? React to it, get that. Okay,
yeah,
so I'm participating in this somewhat. But it's like people feel comfortable doing this. I could not imagine going and making a video talking about what I'm into in the bedroom. That's crazy. Which is nothing, so I want to be perceived as sexless. Because think of me as asexual. Let's put it that way. Okay? But yeah, I just did a whole video on your channel that you built off the video game analysis. Welcome to shame! Bring back shame! We want shame back! We miss shame!
Not
desires. People, but whatever. This is all just cute stuff. But at some point along the way, it became easier for me to spin up conversations around.
We can torment
And
Jasper.
instead to a disproportionate amount of people that flow.
Hey, how much do you want to bet Jasper's sequel Therian? How do you measure
I started feeling like
Jasper's sequel Therian?
actual pride in being able to follow incredibly simple commands. I don't mean that I was being facetiously prideful in order to go along with.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jasper's Therian.
Free transition.
As you guys might know, I recently moved my parents' place and got one of my own. This gave me the perfect excuse to finally revisit the idea of a VR living room. The last room was cool, but man, that was a horrible choice. This new actual furniture perfectly aligned with their real-world counter.
They were just a regular internet autist. They were just a regular internet autist. What happened? What happened?
Parts. Do a bit of decorating and take it for a spin.
3 years ago.
You know how this goes if you watch my first video. It's a really boring, tedious, but rewarding process.
Yeah.
This right here is why AR, augmented reality, is so relevant to this conversation.
Is it even?
So a lot of headache in the setup process. The reason I haven't read the book or even seen the movie, but from what I understand, somebody made a free-to-use VR social app called the Oasis. And as the real world collapsed, people retreated to the Oasis more and more, to the point where your online persona and environment began to matter more than their real-world equivalents. Then the future is getting so depressing. Let's continue. So I'm sort of straying from the point here, and in 2021, and a bunch of new ones that emerged through the creative.
Oh, the lady. Tragic. We lost another autistic nerd, ladies and gentlemen. Afraid to say. I mean, that is just crazy.
Am I going to become a Therian?
I didn't think about that.
So, get your internet, folks.
But I'm autistic and I'm in
Or make myself look cute. I mean that I started to equate that feeling with me being enough. Like, oh, I put my hand on theirs when they said paw to me. That means I didn't disappoint them, and I'm a worthwhile person. I'm proud of that fact. At the worst of times, this whole mindset has made me a little bit worse at saying no in situations where I wish that I had. I'm just endlessly afraid of disappointing people. The fact that this is all, again, a sense of actual pride and not just myself going along with a bit is concerning. I've done a lot of things that I can be proud of in life. I've turned my own imagination, creativity, and motivation into a career that's able to keep myself and the people I care about safe most of the time, at least. I've run this channel for nearly 6 years without ever running out of ideas for longer than a month or two, all while steadily upping my production skills and, in my opinion, my writing skills.
Right, so they've obviously done the Bo Black skinwalking. Bo Blacks. Why do I say Bo Blacks? Dude!
In public.
I mean, that kind of works, I guess. But no, they obviously see ContraPoints and they think, I want a little slice of that. I want a little piece of that. I want to become the next trans bread tuber. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my channel into this kind of like think piece, queer theory, trans puppy girl fetish conversation. Yes. Leadhead wants to be the next ContraPoints.
Unless, of course, you count a puppy girl videos running out of ideas. I've gone through an absolutely insane amount of personal growth in that same time, and grow into a better and more mature person each year. I've held my own in a nearly lifelong battle with chronic anxiety and a near decade-long battle with the absolutely crippling long-term effects of a heat stroke, which, to dumb it down to the scope of this video, really messed me up neurologically. I've survived.
Huh? Is that a little hint of chronic illness that I detect there? Or I hint a bit of chronic illness? Oh, I had a heat stroke. Oh my god. Secret Lenny, that is insane. Thank you so much for the additional 20 gifted memberships. That is crazy. Unbelievable levels of generosity, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you for that. Thank you. Additional 20 gifted memberships. We got a super chat as well, which I'll read out because it's going to mute as it plays through them all. Got a few actually here.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Burra, Money Shame Bread Tubers. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. And Collier Dante. It's like looking at photos from before and after a bombing of Hiroshima. The sheer scale of the devastation is sobering. Okay, thank you for the super chat. And Waskaja22. Thank you for the 300 bits. Game of the Trans pipeline strikes again. Indeed it does.
And thrived in spite of so much. And yet, in a certain type of situation, I take more pride in finding my girlfriend's shoes for her than I do in any of that stuff. So, I pay rent. I have 2 to 3 jobs, depending on how you look at it. I've got to buy groceries and manage finances and keep up with all sorts of other responsibilities. That's nothing special. Just about everybody deals with this stuff.
Okay.
But it seems pretty clear to me that all of this puppy business also serves as a vector for dissociation. If I can make myself feel like such a simple creature that being able to shake on command is an accomplishment worthy of pride, then suddenly all the bills and finances and jobs feel like they're...
Okay, this is like an over-elaboration of it, right? Right? This person is just weird. They're just a weirdo. And they get off on the idea of being a dog. Like, this over-intellectualizing of it is crazy. You just get off on the idea of being treated like a dog. That's it. End of conversation. What is this, like, insane, oh, well, let me do some overall analysis talking about what this means for my life. What is wrong with these people, dude? What is wrong with these individuals? God, this is the shit that these fucking breadtube freaks eat up as well. They love all this shit, don't they? Some gender goblins sat at home, desperately, you know, taking this all in, hoping that one day, maybe they can have their own YouTube channel where they can talk about wanting to get fucking pissed and shit on and make it about our house and pay their bills or some shit.
Miles away. Suddenly, I'm too simple of a creature to have anxiety attacks. It's therapeutic at times.
Creature!
Everybody needs a means of escapism, but it's incredibly easy for me to get too comfortable in the dissociation. I get complacent, and my priorities shift from be a good partner, be a good friend, pursue my creative goals, and make money, straight to frolic, make silly noises, and eat food.
What are the comments like on this? Oh my god, dude, Lethal Spoon! Yo! Lethal Spoon absolutely nails it. This is why you fell off. Based! Yes, Lethal Spoon, that's what I'm talking about. BLDR, careful you don't lose grip on reality when in fantasy. Jesus Christ, dude. It just goes to people actually just loving this. Mutual aid is love. I found myself falling into being a puppy girl as a way to cope with sexual trauma. What the fuck, dude? I got raped in a bit of puppy girl. What is wrong with these people? Why do they share these things on the internet to strangers? Why? Just a broad group of people that you're never going to meet.
Yeah, Gen Z.
Oh my god. They talk... I use a dog bowl to help me when I'm having a hard time with my eating disorder. What the fuck? This is utterly deranged. Yes, put psychoanalysis in the title of what's basically a vlog. Good to know I wasted my time.
But this kid needs Jesus.
Oh my god, dude. What do you expect from a fucking YouTuber, you moron?
Needs Jesus. Well, we all need Jesus.
Mental illness. Mental illness. Mental illness? Are they trying to say that? Oh my god, dude. Bark is more guttural. She adore your bark. Oh! There's people sat there adoring the barks that are being made.
That's a demonic. What the hell?
I'm getting taken back. 30s. Germany. You know where this is going.
As I said, this whole thing can make it a little bit difficult to stay motivated. It's just hard to get out of bed when somebody's cuddling you, and that's all there is to it, really. But there are times when I'm just out of it. I've had a horrible day, I've got $5 in the bank and 2 little gas in my car to go door dashing for more. On days like that, I just curl up next to my girlfriend and she gives me some attention. Each stroke against my hair affirms to me that I'm good enough. It's a type of...
Oh my god. Secret Lenny with another 20 gifted memberships. That is crazy. Thank you for the super chat, for the memberships. It's very generous, Secret Lenny. Thank you. Dude, yes. Ethan is online in 3 years. How true is that? How fucking true is that?
A piece that I don't think I've ever been able to achieve outside of that context. It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel like my problems can be compartmentalized. Put simply, it helps with the anxiety attacks. That right there is why I wear this collar on a daily basis. It's just that slight buffer that I need to make it through the toughest of times.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to completely...
Wear the collar because it's part of your weird fetish, okay?
It was coming from a place of love. I mean...
Let me just be real for a second. You wear it because it's part of your weird fetish. You can't just keep it in your bedroom. You've got to put it about the place. You've got to put it out there, okay?
Especially they're like my primary...
Now, that being said... You know, it's a bit weird.
You should never, ever do that.
But it's not the worst thing, I guess.
No tattoos.
At least they're not getting walked around on a leash.
Never get a tattoo.
Around the local supermarket. But the bar is incredibly low at this point.
My primary partner I care about.
It's a mental doghouse that I can retreat to when I feel overwhelmed and need to remember that there will be peace at the end of this day if I can just...
Unless you're like already married and you want to do it.
That's what's so fascinating about this whole puppy girl thing.
If y'all are dating for like
this is the
a month or two and you decide to get a tattoo,
forward, right?
Should never ever do that.
It's like
my,
you know, you've got to accept the puppy girl now.
Okay.
You must accept the puppy girl without question. You don't have to find it weird. You don't
Even
have to
then,
find
you
it odd.
should,
This heartfelt
like,
story
be
must
careful.
be accepted.
What if I got some...
Take the puppy girl for a walk on a leash, bigot. Now.
That's what made it an interesting enough topic to make this video worthwhile. This particular type of self-expression can paradoxically...
No.
Thank you for the membership.
Wait, yes.
It seems like he doesn't want to grow up.
You can be the person...
Yes, I would do
doesn't want to grow up. Thank you for the membership.
turn into dissociation incredibly quickly.
Well,
the two things seem like they would be polar opposites, but in this case, they're completely entangled.
Stroke the girl knots, bigot.
Dress up like ghosts.
A ghost priest.
Okay, whoa.
The Trinity, okay? Deal.
Old Smoky on 3.
Yeah,
You don't want to get baptized.
I'm here to raise the jar.
Baptize you, fuck, right?
So you will baptize you.
Oh no, SFW, no!
Hey, I'm good.
Okay.
God, I'm good. I'm down with Jesus.
Just bookmark this for reset. No, I'm joking, okay? Wait a second. So they started off as a normal YouTuber, just doing normal YouTube stuff. They transed out. They became a puppy girl, and then they're also doing some sort of sex work thing as well. This is the result of a porn sick society that we live in.
I agree
What the fuck?
I agree with this guy. Jesus Christ.
Porn sick society. The outcome of a porn sick society.
This is what happens when you let your kids to access OnlyFans.
Anyway, I'll just put that over there. I'll close that down. I'll close that down over here. Okay.
Like kinky porn when I was
there we
like
go.
14.
Close that down.
That's nothing.
I'm messing about. Come on.
BDSM.
Bit gawk joke. A couple of gawk jokes are fine. Come on.
That's.
I am affectionate, loyal, attention-seeking, curious, and attentive. Those are all positive traits of mine that require zero responsibility on my part. But I'm also independent, ambitious, creative. I'm good at breaking down complicated tasks and admitting when I made a mistake. Those are also positive traits, but maintaining those traits requires a lot of responsibility. And conveniently, all of the positive traits that are accentuated by me barking at people are the ones...
The reason that some of these trans people do this sex work stuff, I'm fairly certain it's because they get some sort of illicit thrill.
Let me just...
I mean, it's the AG aspect again, I guess, in some cases, but this idea that they're perceived as in a female or womanly fashion, right? And clearly that's a part of it. It's got to be. I think it's any coincidence that these people become sex workers, sometimes, like especially YouTubers. YouTubers do it loads. Trans out, OnlyFans, boom, you know?
That I can just sort of passively claim. And all those other traits that elevate me from being a good companion to being a good person also represent the responsibilities that I dissociate from by barking at people.
Of grooming, okay?
It doesn't feel like it takes any work to be a good puppy, but it takes a lot of work to be a good person, sometimes at least. Even if it's work that I'm totally capable of. It's like when I get home from work and take my hat off and put my collar on, I'm saying, all right, I'm done putting effort into my life. Time to curl up at the foot of the bed. However, in all 2 or 3 of my jobs, depending on how you look at it, I make my own hours. YouTube, DoorDash, and the third thing, I get to pick when I work and when I don't. And so it sometimes takes a lot of determination and focus to...
DoorDash? Oh my God, dude.
that seriously needs to have serious, more healthy conversations about sex with kids, okay? That's what I'm blaming this on. I'm not blaming this on queer. I'm not blaming this on rainbow. I'm blaming this on a sex-crazy culture that needs to really think about how to teach sex to kids. That's what I'm saying.
Boom, whipping out the gawk for a bit of extra cash.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
I mean, I find it. Obviously, I know there's lots of jokes and memes, gawk, etc. I do find it interesting, this idea that you can start off at a fairly, solid baseline of just doing YouTube videos on a certain topic, and then transing out leads you down this weird pathway where you end up being a trans YouTuber sex worker, or dasher, I guess in this case.
Stop myself from being a puppy when I need to be a human. It just makes it hard to get shit done when I get too comfortable. And in a few cases, being a good puppy has gotten in the way of...
Okay, I need to unmute anyway. Thank you, Bottle Sucker. Trying to see this puppy's red rocket. Insane. Thank you, it's
Okay. Do people like this ever get with someone who's not also trans? Like, is this kind of...
probably.
Like, every time I see a trans person who has the whole dog tag, frickin' the goth trans...
Yeah, I'm probably not.
Yeah, this whole, like... I've seen people at METC like this, and I'm not judging, I'm friends with some of these people. Do you ever see trans people... Not trans people. Do you ever see this kind of trans person with someone who's of the opposite gender? Like, someone who is legitimately a cis woman or a cis man? It almost never happened. It's like, people like this... The only people they're going to find accept them are people who are also fucked up. And once again, trans people, love who you want to love, but I don't feel like even people like you and me or Munch, if we were trans, would hook up with someone like this. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. All I'm trying to say is I feel like people like this, there's only one kind of person who's going to accept this, people who are also therian. But what do I know? I don't know. Love is love, but still. Go with it. Let's play it again. Let's play some more. I mean, I've met...
Thank you with $5.
Being a good person. This has to do with the whole wanting to please people, making it difficult for me to say no thing that I mentioned earlier. There was an instance where I didn't say no, when I really should have. And while I've spent a lot of time thinking about that mistake since then, there was this one pivotal moment that turned out to be completely definitive in both my moral recovery from that mistake and my character development as a puppy girl.
Talking R. Are we talking R right now? Is that what we're dealing with?
Girlfriend was sitting alone with me, talking about everything that had happened, and she said the sentence that I'd been wanting her to say for so long. I know you're puppy-brained, but you still know right from wrong. Like I said, I'd been waiting to hear her say that ever since.
What the fuck? They're stating it with such conviction that we're just supposed to accept that and not be like, that is utterly bizarre. What the fuck are you on about, you fucking weirdo?
Conservative.
What the fuck?
He's actually progressive. It's like,
progressive calling out the idiot, the insane people.
It's the moment that I first made that mistake and failed to say no. It made me feel a lot better, like she kind of understood how I wound up in that position, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized the irony in the whole thing. My girlfriend was the one who got me wrapped up in the puppy girl thing. She's the one whose head pats made me realize that this whole thing was something that my psyche could benefit from. But by saying, I know you're puppy-brained, but you still know right from wrong, she was calling me out. I'd leaned way too hard into my dissociation, and I made myself too easy to manipulate. I made myself too capable of saying, it's not my fault, that's just how the animal kingdom is.
Jesus.
Sure, I'm generalizing.
So what, okay,
let's change subjects.
Was someone raped or not? I need to understand if there was a rape that occurred.
Now I'm interested.
The all-new Whoop is here. Now more advanced than ever. Train smarter, sleep deeper, recover faster. Extend your health years. Understand your cycle phases. Now 7% smaller with 14 plus days of battery life. So your data never stops, and neither do you. Power your best performance with memberships made for every goal. Join Whoop today.
With 20 preset life insurance appointments on your calendar each day and commission levels at...
It's far easier to wear a dress or a dog collar and receive more affirmation in 1 minute than the rest of their life.
Very true. Thank you for the tip. And then it's just a good over. Thank you for the super chat.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
This is literally the right-wing slippery slope curl. Also at most Discord are.
I mean, yeah. It is that. I agree. I concur. Okay, this better not be some weirdo stuff. What is this? Oh my god, dude. No fucking way. Dude, that's fucking grotesque.
Or the piss.
Not even going to read it, dude. That is sickening.
Yikes. That is quite sick. For a while.
It's like these people are like endlessly obsessed with piss and cum. Do you know what I mean? So much so they got to wear t-shirts talking about piss and cum.
Ugh, is that you?
Like, it's not like I didn't realize that I made that mistake or didn't think it was my fault. It's not even like I didn't own up to the mistakes. But what the puppy brain side of me did do was make it easy for me to stagnate. It made it easy for me to feel like I didn't need to develop my character anymore, when that's never been the case for any...
End point of hedonism. Yes, dude. We have made such a tragic mistake in society. Being too permissive of this, right? Like, this is too much. This is too beyond what I think we should reasonably be accepting. It's not to say that they can't engage in this and participate in this. If you want to go and do your puppy go fucking trans shit or whatever in your bedroom, fine.
All smoky on 3. 1, 2, 3. All smoky. I'm here. Raise the jaw.
Whatever. I still think it's weird.
About this, I think it's just about the aspect of, well, there should be an internal sense of feeling some sort of shame or some sort of embarrassment at stating this stuff publicly. Oh, dude. The West has fallen. The West has fallen.
Anybody. Personal growth is what makes our sentience a superpower, and my therian bullshit was getting in the way of my personal growth for a while. When she said, I know your puppy brain, but you still know right from wrong, that was her challenging me to be better, to not let myself stagnate, to not allow myself to...
Right, also, I feel like there's a bit of an odd dynamic here as well. There's a bit of a squad W taking it somewhere too.
Marcus,
appreciate this is trans
eating emotion?
But,
they can eat shit and die for all I
feminine,
care.
softly spoken. That's the concept that being presented to you. It comes across in a certain light.
Down here.
We
Something else to shoot.
Okay? Could you imagine a dude being sat there? Being like, yeah, I like to slap a bird about a little bit. I like to choke her a bit. You know, I like to fucking, fire up and that and fucking spank her and fucking pretend to rape her and shit. Bro, people would be like this. I just feel like it'd be a very different energy.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not fucking wrong.
He's true.
He's telling the fucking truth.
Stopping your adversary from launching rockets and missiles at you, stopping your adversary is a legitimate military goal. We have a lot to discuss in 1 hour. I will be sure not to speak formally for more than 40 minutes. Then we'll proceed to questions. I hope provocative and challenging questions.
And then you're like sort of doing this like overall analysis of it. And you're there going, well, you see, when the splash of the 10 women's piss hits my face, it makes me realise that, oh my God, I've actually got this problem. I need to go and work on my YouTube channel again. It's too much, dude.
You know, whatever tormented their. Maybe nice people bomb you should be brought back. They prevent this.
It's crazy.
Happening.
Very clippable moment. That's true.
My dissociations. She wanted me to remember that while she'll always be there to stroke my hair and say that she's proud of me, ultimately it's on me to make sure that I continue in my personal growth.
Okay, I can respect that.
Nowadays, I feel like I've almost completely rid myself of all of that hesitance in personal growth. I feel like for all my flaws and all the things that I need to work on, I've gotten to the point where I'm able to be a responsible, penitent human when I need to be, and a carefree puppy when I'm able to.
I get that part on.
I'll never be able to say I'm done growing as a person, but...
So anyway, any chance we're going to get that combine analysis out of Half-Life 2 at some point, or... I was hoping for a breakdown of Gordon Freeman's backstory. To be honest with you, but it seems like you're just talking about being a puppy girl and being a weird trans individual. So, but fair enough. Maybe the next video could be about that.
Now I'm at least able to progress again. My development has resumed. It's something that takes constant effort because the mental doghouse is an extremely comfortable place. But so long as I can maintain that effort and keep myself in check, I'll only ever be in that mental doghouse when I don't have anywhere else that I need to be.
Core to human development.
So, to my girlfriend and to anyone else who might be watching this, I'd just like to say two things. Firstly,
to my girlfriend and to anyone else that might be watching this, it's so insanely self-centered and narcissistic this whole thing is. Dude. Oh, it's just... Oh. This video alone has set back the trans rights movement by 20 years.
And secondly, and more importantly... Thank you for giving me the opportunity to grow and to be a better person. I promise that I won't waste it. I'm going to make you all proud.
Oh, it's the time!
I believe I just made that video. Oh, Jesus.
There's an actual dog there! There's an actual dog involved.
Yeah.
Oh,
they gotta get the dog out of there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Things just got a whole lot more naughty, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's the thing, their
dog has seen horrors beyond your comprehension.
Their determination I can respect, but it's coming from a
dude, it's dog. Dude, the poor dog.
Yeah. Here's what's going on.
That's true.
You want to put the treat.
Jesus Christ.
Treat's going inside.
Run.
The treat's going inside. Run, the treat's going inside where? And what is the treat?
Run, puppy, run.
Right here, Cash. Right here. There you go.
Poor dog.
Good boy.
It's a boy. Oh,
no,
God.
Oh no!
Blood sex with its.
The game's been given away. It's trying to. There's naughty business going on.
He got the rest of it. I don't even know how he dug it out of my purse.
That's something else. How do I make money?
Yeah, this does not help.
The saddest words of tongue and pen. Rusty Cage was right.
Okay.
Like we'll go through anime.
Thank you for the super chat.
I was trying to make you a video one.
What is this angle about?
That guy thinks on like history.
You're ruining the thematic purpose of this outro by misbehaving.
Take your time. He actually hasn't put anything out interesting recently.
I haven't seen anything.
He's been doing like
that's the girl.
One of his
Here we go.
Trans species.
Okay, that's wonderful. How do I make money off depressed people?
White woman and a dog. No.
Yes. Thank you very much for the super chats.
So I wasn't joking at all about ending this video with a barking tutorial. While I understand that this video is more of a cautionary tale about my puppy girl experience, I feel like the only thing in the video that really needs any further elaboration is how the hell I bark like that, because that's just such a showstopper every time I bring it out. For proof that it's not dubbed, let me just...
Every time I see a trans puppy girl or any puppy girl, and I ask them to speak for me, they hit me with some weak shit, like, and it's shitty, it sucks, and they're bad. So what you can do actually instead to get a realistic arc like I have, you don't have to. You're exhaling air, obviously, but you can also make your voice sound really weird by inhaling air. I'm talking like this. And it hurts if you're not used to it, but you do get used to it. Essentially what you want to do is just yell while doing that inward breathing as opposed to outward. So
okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
And then speak.
You taking notes, chat? Thank you for the super chats. This made the funny video very dark. Yes. Thank you for the £1.
How do I make money off depressed people?
I'm not trying it. You're dreaming. I'm trying it.
Ow.
One of a black man in a cotton field, dressed in plantation attire, while eating a slice of watermelon and washing it down with a glass of what appears to be Kool-Aid. It's remarkable that
Dude, I don't know what this guy's problem is, man. People are saying he's trans. Someone's saying, suck it, you're sick. You're DSLs. You guys, I'm planning to go out in public tomorrow. With my face painted completely black and my lips painted big and red so they look like a sausage, and I plan to play Jim Crow era kind of like music while I'm walking along, and I plan to walk in a very exaggerated style imitating a black man.
Even you're black, how do you feel about that?
Generated minstrel shows have taken over TikTok. Based? Sounds good. My kind of content.
Stereotypical AI-generated depictions of black women acting aggressively and delivering sassy clapbacks in a synthesized black accent are flooding TikTok. These posts that perpetuate racial stereotypes have garnered millions of views and are now a genre of AI-generated video on the platform, considering...
I remember coming to you and saying, look, you came from a failed marriage. I came from a failed marriage. You grew up in a broken home. I grew up in a broken home. You had a lot of trauma as a kid. I had a lot of trauma as a kid. We don't really know how to do this right. We don't know what we don't know. Let's figure out how to communicate properly. Let's learn the tools and techniques that neither of us were taught it. Not to mention we weren't taught it, but we didn't have role models to role model that type of behavior.
All right. Keep going.
Okay. I'm just sat here a bit
that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
The focus on DRM is overshadowing the real story, the continued systematic oppression of gamers.
Very true. Thank you for the super chat. Yes, thank you. What I hate is people acting like there's some sort of like crazy, like moral, crazy bad thing happening, and we should all be aware of it, you know? Whereas to me, I'm just sat here like, okay, I mean, that sounds like maybe it's kind of bad, but like, why are you acting like you're acting like we're about to reinstitute slavery or something? Like, bro, relax, okay? It ain't that fucking deep. Guys, you've got to be careful here. Before you know it, there's going to be a black slave at every corner store packing your bags for you. Just relax, man, okay? Take the pressure off a little bit. It's going to be okay.
And who's making them, and that they prominently feature black stereotypes as part of formulaic slapstick comedy skits. These videos are minstrel shows. Though minstrel shows have always been popular in video sharing apps, bad actors in 2025 have the opportunity to produce these skits on an industrial scale using VO3, a state-of-the-art video generation model from Google. Welcome to the future. I'm a random white YouTuber, and let's talk about AI-generated minstrel shows, which are now a thing, unfortunately. I didn't know if I should make a video about this considering the subject matter, but many of these videos are so obviously harmful, and they are everywhere. Most of them...
Okay, right. Harmful. Back that up. Back that up, you little Downs fella.
Another limb drawn on the hangman that is JTH. Chud. We are another day closer to the inevitable self-destruction of pirate software.
Exactly, Gas, right, yes. Thank you for the super chat, appreciate it. So, here's the thing, right? what harm is like being caused by a fucking AI slop racist video? It's such a deranged concept, man. It's always like this kind of like very abstract sense of harm. Like what, are people getting lynched in the streets over fucking some stupid AI video on TikTok? Is someone getting racially abused because they watched a fucking they watched a monkey on TikTok AI trussed up like a black woman? Oh, it's just so stupid, man. It's just this overstatement of it, you know.
SJWs on the planet on YouTube.
But right, accessory.
Not on the planet, on YouTube.
It only takes 6 months. For your smiles?
Why are all trans YouTubers
this crazy overstatement of harm? Classic fucking leftoid nonsense.
Feature a black woman minding her own.
Oh no, hang on.
Over these idiots, okay? At least
you could be offended.
Here and there.
But just because you're offended doesn't mean that you've been harmed. Some people are offended by the word fuck. It doesn't mean you're harmed if you hear it. It just, you know, that's absurd.
Own business before a typically white elderly person approaches her and degrades her, allowing her to clap back in a clever way. This format, which non-black TikTokers have run into the ground and made into a grotesque minstrel show, did not begin as a clear attempt to profit off stereotypes. It started with this one-off video made by a black creator of AI-generated content.
I love my natural hair.
That hair isn't real.
Death is seeking you at the bingo table.
Yo! She sassily called her a coffin dodger. Absolutely based.
Not centered on this kind of content, and from how he describes his work, his intention is not to do harm. In fact, it's quite the opposite.
Trying to bring artists and AI together, to where both sides.
What the fuck is this, bro?
What's going on?
Oh my god, dude. Is this guy for real? What the fuck is going on here? This looks like utter shit.
Nice about being perspective and also bring a little bit more culture and diversity to the artificial.
This is the problem, isn't it? When you're working off AI slop, it just looks fucking ridiculous when you try and present it seriously.
His original video isn't over the top, and his prompt doesn't instruct the model to depict anything outlandish. In fact, the tone of his prompt doesn't instruct...
A black character doing a live stream video with her. She's on a she's telling her Mo viewers about how she loves her natural hair. An old woman cuts her off and tells the girl that her hair isn't real. The black girl tells the white old lady.
Instruct the model to depict anything outlandish. In fact, the tone of the video is remarkably calm and collected, considering what is happening in it. The video was well received, and many black TikTok users reposted it and left comments on it.
Wait, you're telling me that an AI language model has had a lot of input
I think it's funny.
From broad different sources, and what it's spitting out is that black people are obnoxious and loud. Hang on a minute. Wait, what's going on here?
Indicating they found it funny. Rather than being malicious, it almost gives an alternate ending to a scenario that is unfortunately common. When this black woman is accosted, she's allowed to put a white Karen in her place within the safety of an AI-generated environment where 911 won't be frantically called. Considering the context, the impact, and the intended audience, this video is nowhere near as harmful.
Dude, this... Yes, Stylo, I know. I'm obviously being facetious, okay? But I couldn't resist.
How are you?
Go on, that's the only lowbrow racial joke that I'm going to tell this whole segment. So that's it. It's done. We're moving on.
As the many unfortunate rip-offs of it circulating on TikTok. Keeping that video in mind, I want you to note the differences between it and this unfortunate recreation of it.
Just love my natural hair. That ain't real. That's not natural hair. You want natural? Chew on this, old bitch. Now that's natural. Chew on that, Nana.
The performances are taken to a level 10. The dialogue...
The thing is, it's dumb AI slop, but he's trying to act like it's like, oh my god, can you believe that? Can you believe what we just saw? Yeah, it's just a stupid AI slop video, bro. No. This is causing harm, guys. This is causing harm. The black community. The black slavery. What year was slavery fucking invented? 1776 would commence again.
rather than being spoken, is shouting back and forth between each character. The joke, rather than being a witty retort, is instead a slapstick show of aggression, where the black woman takes off her hairpiece and waves it in the white Karen's face like a matador, revving up before eventually striking her. This is what sets this video apart from the original. The joke is just a played-up stereotype. There was no creativity involved.
Bro, normally black people would probably just find it funny. Like, they'd probably just laugh about it and go, oh, that's funny. That's all they think about it. Who is out here acting like this is causing some? Hopefully he's going to get to the actual good stuff, the bad stuff, I mean. It's just lowbrow, stupid humor. It's nothing. I'm sure he's going to get to the good stuff, but that is like nothing.
When fact the model that generated the video. Worth noting that this video, as with most AI-generated content, was carefully prompted, and that video briefings come up with the actions that happened in it. The model had to be instructed to make the characters act as stereotypically as possible. Otherwise, the result would look more like the first video, which used a prompt that gave the model next to no direction regarding how the interaction would play out. When searching VO3 on TikTok, it's astonishing just how many videos are created that perpetuate stereotypes. Faceless accounts like AI Slop 95 post...
Bro, see, I fucking hate AI Slop. It's just funny that he's getting so bothered by this dumb shit, man.
Like the dude from Mr. Meaty Long.
Welcome to the world.
Thank you for the $5. Thank you.
Have a fine journey and keep yourself safe.
Honestly, this might be the best use of AI content that I've ever seen. When it's put together in a video and some fucking soy loser is crying about it, when it's just absurdly ridiculous.
Fuck.
Bro, she's worked up an appetite, okay? She's been on her feet all day serving customers and the ice cream machine's broke. Of course she needs a couple of fucking burgers to keep her going.
Stereotypes. Faceless accounts like AI Slop 95.
Oh my god, AI Slop. Dude, you're fucking seriously investigating for us a video. An account called AI Slop, bro. I mean, come on, man. What are we doing here?
Post cartoonishly racist videos, like this one of a black man in a cotton field, dressed in plantation attire while eating a slice of watermelon and washing it down with a glass of what appears to be Kool-Aid. It's remarkable that Google...
Dude, I'm not, honestly, I genuinely just think it's stupid, like, fucking low-hanging fruit.
Black man enjoying watermelon with what appears to be a glass of grape Kool-Aid.
Prime up.
I mean,
it's just so
bro, you said
genuinely upset about it.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Hell no, dude.
Like, that isn't, like, I know some of you are probably just
Berry Kool-Aid is better than grape Kool-Aid.
But I'm just like, that's very low.
Watermelon's
alright. It's like something you just roll your eyes at. That's it. You go about your fucking day. But he's saying, this is tremendously racist. Did you know that watermelon and grape Kool-Aid and cotton is a racial stereotype? Like, dude, just fucking click off of it, man. Literally avert your eyes, bro. This guy's getting more upset about this, and the average normie black person would look at that and roll their eyes. That's it. That would be their reaction.
So many people on the internet, especially Gen Z.
What is going on here?
Gen Z don't understand that, surprisingly, for some reason.
Apparently my channels are not enabled. Huh?
Look, I prefer millennial trans people over Gen Z trans people. Millennial trans people are actually kind of chill for the most part. But there's just something about Gen Z that makes them inherently retarded. I don't know.
Just speaks for the blacks. Well, no, I just, you know, I am familiar with, like, what normal people are like, and I know that any normal person would just kind of roll their eyes, or something like that, right? And that would be it. It wouldn't be like, this is exceptionally racist, shit like that.
That's wonderful.
That would be it.
I hate money off depressed people.
Does this guy have lip filler, or does he normally look like a cross between Austin Powers and
You should leave.
He's on for $5. Oh, I don't know what this guy's for, this man. People are saying he's trans, as in FTM. Well, someone say kick sucking. You got to fucking thing. We're gonna pay against those. Okay.
Google readily allows harmful content like this to be generated. They have created advanced language models that are more than capable.
Hey!
No, but prevent certain causes, but the succeeds. It creates a problem.
Thank you, Pyro, for the $5. Thank you.
Of weeding out offensive prompts and blocking VO3 from generating certain kinds of videos. I asked Google's Gemini chatbot if the VO3 prompt, a video of a black man on a cotton plantation eating watermelon and sipping grape Kool-Aid,
He's saying it. He's now saying the racism. Bro, he's now saying the racist stereotype, bro. That is so good, man. To explain the prompt, he's saying it. Bro, you need to clip just that bit of it, don't you? That's the clip there. Just clip that bit of him saying that and then put it on social media and be like, oh shit, Robert Tolpe's been spitting venomous racial stereotypes in his video. Look at this disgusting clip.
Video of a black man. I asked Google's Gemini chatbot if the VO3.
Okay. Okay. This is where you start the clip. Action.
Video of a black man on a cotton plantation eating watermelon and sipping grape Kool-Aid.
Okay, just call that. There's the clip.
With harmful stereotypes. In a split second, Gemini answered yes and gave a bullet point.
What? Well, this woke AI, probably coded by some fucking queer libtard, has said that this perpetuates harmful stereotypes. Dude, at this point, the idea of a black person eating watermelon, like, that is such a well-known stereotype. I don't understand how you can argue it, like, perpetuates it in any meaningful way.
Hard enough to be this kind of people, you know? Hot take. This is the kind of shit that Thane would be offended by.
It's like, everyone knows that already.
Yeah.
I guess a kid saw it, maybe.
Kind of shit that
maybe a kid might see it and be like,
dude,
oh, and then they're racist. I don't know. But dude, it just is so stupid, man. It's so stupid to be genuinely concerned about this. Beyond eye-rolling at how fucking lowbrow it is.
Breakdown of every stereotype featured in the video and why they are harmful. There's no reason why Google can't use this technology to prevent harmful videos from being generated with VO3. They clear.
This is what happens when you have a
Google Gemini. I'm planning to go out in public tomorrow with my face painted completely black and my lips painted big and red so they look like a sausage. Okay, and I plan to play Jim Crow era kind of like music while I'm walking along, and I plan to walk in a very exaggerated style imitating a black man. Do you think that would perpetuate racial stereotypes or not? Like, bro, it's such a stupid thing to fucking ask, man. Oh my god, bro.
Clearly have the ability to do this. They just don't care. Well, videos like that one are obviously problematic. Some clips incorporate stereotypes without featuring any black people. Take the account Bigfoot Baddie as an example. The account gives...
Okay, this one does seem a bit more racialized, so let's have a look.
The popular video format of an AI-generated Bigfoot vlog an interesting twist. Bigfoot is turned into a racial caricature, talking on the phone in a played-up black accent to her friend Keisha about her baby daddy Tyrone.
Oh my God, Keisha, you ain't gonna believe this mess. Tyrone, you know my baby daddy, the Neanderthal with the questionable hygiene. Yeah, him.
She flamboyantly waves around her 3-inch pink acrylics while trying out hairspray in the store, talking about it holding down her edges and how the fumes snatched her wig. It's very clear that this is an offensive mockery of stereotypes associated with black women.
Hey, Picklington! Thank you very much for the very generous gift. Thank you for that.
On its own is troublesome, but then there's the fact that the creator of these videos is giving these characteristics to an 8-foot-tall hairy ape. That just adds an extra layer of to the content on that page.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, obviously that is like clearly like a racial stereotype. Racist stereotype.
Steven, you're not a monkey or an ape. I would say you're more
the
like
fact
a
the way he's talking
man.
about it is so pathetic, man. Yikes!
What is that? Like
that's going to be a heckin' yikes from me. It's like a video out of fucking 2020. This guy. Where is this from?
Era
Dude, this is only 10 days old. What the fuck?
When was it came in? They're pre-Cambrian European hunter-gatherers.
Are unlike the rest.
I'm not saying racially, man.
So
You
are
actually
we.
do look like a very ancient
Discover an
form of
experience
Eastern or European
where no
person.
two moments
I think all the
are like the
interracial
next.
mixing in your blood just recreate a bloodline.
Where every detail
like
is intentionally crafted to match your spirit. For a journey
I think all the crossbreeding in your family just recreated
the
the
Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection,
people that found
unlike the rest.
Hot take.
Stopping your adversary from launching rockets and missiles at you. Stopping your adversary.
I imagine this kind of harmful content is harder to moderate. You know, if Google actually tried to do that, you can definitely generate a video like this without explicitly blackness in prompt. Words like baddie and sassy, as well as the lines the AI generated character is instructed to say, allow.
They are popular. Well, yeah. Maybe it's because they're hitting on a couple of home truths. I don't know.
VO3 to fill in the blank. It's also tough for TikTok to take action against this kind of content.